I have got some ghost stories for you.
I come home from the gym and the chairs are all stacked upside down, like a very intricate stack.
There was a werewolf on our porch swing holding one of our kittens.
The pen was all busted open and there is blood everywhere.
There's like somebody standing in the middle of the bed with their finger pushing straight up on the canopy, like a tent pole. But there's nothing there, and I laid in bed like a little kid. I pulled the covers up over my eyes.
This little boy told paranormal investigators, apparently my grandfather came back from the dead to harass a toddler.
So that is my ghost story.
Hi, and welcome to Haunted AF, the podcast, our real ghost stories told by real people. We are your hosts. I'm Julie Fisk.
And I'm Rebecca Black.
So coming up here on our season 8 finale.
Sad.
Oh, it's happening.
You're too happy about it.
And this has been an exhausting season.
It really has, but I'm still sad.
I am sad. I really am. It's always this time. It's a bittersweet thing, you know, especially the Halloween episode, because we get so excited. There's so many fun things going on.
Yeah.
And we also get really busy, but we are going to be taking a break very soon. What was I going to say? Oh, coming up. Okay. We are going to share one of our favorite stories from Granbury. We are planning to share the rest of those in mini-sodes while we're on a break. We didn't get to all of them, but our favorite one from that weekend is coming up. We're also going to talk to Britt Barbieri about the recent UFO sightings.
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. The Today Show even did a segment on it. And so Britt is like totally clued in. She's got all the information for us, and that's all coming up.
Yeah, but real quick, we need to say hello, shout out, give some love to our newest patrons, Cameron Vanoy, Navera, and Jill C. By the way, patreon.com/hauntedaf. It's just $5 a month. That's all.
Yeah.
$5 measly. It's
a really easy way to support the podcast. Yep. We also have to say thank you to everybody who has sent their Halloween costume photos.
Oh, so many good ones.
And their animals in costumes and their decorations. It's been a whole lot of fun. So if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you go and check out either the companion blog at hauntedaf.com or just go watch it on YouTube, because we'll be posting all of that stuff in the intro. So much fun. Thanks a lot for that. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in the stories. I'm so excited to share this one for you. I'm so excited to share this one. I'm so excited to share. Oh, God damn it. I can't wait for you to hear this one. Rebecca, this is from Brad.
Hello, Jules and Bex. Brad from the UK. I've sent in a few stories which you have read, and I really appreciate it. I love your show. The way you guys laugh absolutely cracks me up. Aww. So back in the early 2000s, I used to work at a school in East London, and I used to work quite late at the school. I was like a caretaker. I went about and locked up the school at the end of the night and things like that. So this school, it's called Lister Community School. It was in the East End of London, and it had a building that we called the Old Building. It was like just over 100 years old. It's been knocked down since, and the school's been rebuilt, which is a shame. But of an evening when I'd go to lock up the old building, it was notorious for being haunted. So I'd go down the corridor, locking all the doors as you do, checking all the rooms, make sure everyone was out. And by the time I got to the end of the corridor, the original first classroom that I'd locked would be swinging open, and you'd think, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. So you'd walk all the way down, lock that door, and then the door that you locked at the other end would be swinging open. So it weren't anything malevolent. It was just a playful ghost. But the story has it that the school was used as a hospital during the wars, and I think it was a kids' hospital. So in the East End of London, obviously with the Blitz and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I can't find any pictures of it to send you. But yeah, that's the story. Just random doors opening once you locked them. And it was just really irritating. But anyway, keep up the excellent work. I love your show. Cheers. Bye.
Bye, Bradley.
Cheers.
I can't believe he said, I've sent stories before that you've read.
Yeah.
I'm like, Brad, from here on out, you have to record them.
Right. We go on and on and on and on about how much we love an accent.
And
what the hell?
Honestly, Brad could be writing to us from Arkansas and we would not know.
No, we wouldn't care either. Just you do a great accent.
Yeah.
So
I actually went to Starbucks the other day, and the guy, the barista, had such a heavy British accent. I was like, you're faking that shit. I don't believe you. I literally wanted to call him out in the drive-thru because I was like, we're in doubt. Where do
Like,
you
yeah.
get off with that?
Like, where do you get
Cheerio.
off?
Like, I don't believe you.
Chip. Hello,
I know.
Gavna.
Come on, Mary Poppins.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, let's move on to our next story. So this we actually got this on hauntedaf.com. Yes, you can send your stories through hauntedaf.com, just written, no audio though, just
Yes.
FYI. This is from Alexis, who says, I have many spooky stories from childhood till now. I'm 26, but I had to share with you something that happened just last week. I listened to your podcast at work, and before I got my headphones, I would just play it out loud. Well, aren't you the nicest cubby buddy on the planet?
Giving everybody anxiety
Yeah,
attacks.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, coworkers. That doesn't seem like a very sincere apology. Sorry, not sorry. Last week, however, I was listening on my headphones and decided to freak out my coworker by telling her I was haunted. The second I said this to her, the lights in our warehouse flickered. This has never happened before, and it hasn't happened again. Sufficient to say she believes I am haunted now. Thank you guys for the great podcast. I'm in OKC, Oklahoma City. So I will definitely be traveling to Dallas to find the spooky places y'all talk about. You are haunted, Alexis, and we will. I read that as if I was Alexis.
No, that's like,
could you use it?
that was
I
supposed
literally
to be.
had a Ron Burgundy moment. Fuck you, San Diego, or whatever he says.
I just hope that when Alexis said that, like, I'm haunted,
Yeah.
and then the lights started flickering, I hope she just did like a full on, like,
God, that would have been amazing.
yes. And you are haunted, Alexis.
Yeah, I
for the
believe that you
record.
are. Absolutely.
You might have been joking, but you definitely are now.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So we got this email from Mike. He says, hello again. I was the one with the haunted sink a few seasons back. Do you remember that? Like, I think he and his wife were like getting frisky in the bathroom. They were making out and the sinks started turning
Yeah,
on.
that
They had
sounds
two different
familiar.
sinks. Yeah. So he says, so one of our cars was in the shop and we rented a Tesla for a bit. While my wife and I were out looking for a place to charge it, I mentioned your podcast and all the haunted Teslas. Well, she perked right up and said, let's go find a cemetery and see if it's true.
Yes, yes, and yes.
So we drove past a few, but it was late. So, of course, all the gates were closed. So we drove home. And as we were pulling into our garage, a figure popped up on the screen and appeared to be walking towards the front of the car. No one was home or in the garage, of course. I got hella happy and started recording. Unfortunately, it didn't pop up as well as it did before I was recording. Nothing weird has happened in the place we're living now, and hopefully nothing will, but y'all will be the first to know if it does. And that's Mike from Louisville.
It's not gonna do it now.
It's doing it.
There it goes.
It's moved.
Yeah, it's walking. See?
It's right in the middle of the thing where there's nothing right there.
Wild.
And if you have a Tesla, please, you have to go and check this out for us. We love these videos.
Random side note, because okay, I had a car accident yesterday, and
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
asked me on Facebook, did you get hit by a Tesla of people who are going out looking for ghosts? And I was like, God, I wish that was the case.
Yeah, but solid callback.
Right. I know.
This next story comes from Megan.
So right after I graduated high school, I was kind of lost and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I decided to move from Northern California, where I've lived my whole life, to live with one of my cousins. She lived in St. Paul, Minnesota, in an apartment that was in a very old house that had been converted into 2 living spaces. I thought the place was a little creepy because it was like old and kind of funky, but it was okay. I mean, we were young. In the hallway, there was a door to an attic. So you would kind of go up this creepy attic stairway. And then there was like a room that looked like it used to be a kid's room. I remember that the walls were painted pink, but then there were like, it looked like hatchet marks in the wall. And there was like insulation coming out, and it was really horribly creepy and scary. My cousin had said, oh, you can keep stuff up here, use it for storage. And I'm like, this is so creepy, but okay. So I had some suitcases that I decided to put up there. So first thing that happened was I was trying to sleep, but I was wide awake. I had the light on, everything. I think I was like writing in my journal or something. And I heard a knock on my bedroom door. And I said, come in. And no one came in. And I said, come in, Steph, thinking it was my cousin. And no one came in. So a second later, another knock on my bedroom. I'm like, Stephanie, come in. I'm awake. Come in. No one came in. So I get up, I open the door. She's not there. I walk down the hallway to her bedroom and she's sound asleep. The next thing that happened was I saw like something in the hallway. I want to call it a white mist. And I remember looking at it thinking, am I really seeing this? And then the cat was looking at the white mist and like tracking it as it moved. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm seeing that and the cat seeing that. So I kind of brought it to my cousin. I'm like, hey, I think your apartment's haunted. And she's like, no, I've never had anything weird happen here, blah, 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 blah. I've always felt really comfortable. I've always been really cozy here. The last thing that happened was I was sitting on the couch in the living room watching television. And all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 boom. And then the door to the attic in the hallway bursts open and all of my suitcases come like tumbling out, which to me is like, hey, bitch, get out, okay?
Yeah.
I did move out shortly thereafter.
Smart.
But not because of the ghosts, because my cousin and I started ferociously fighting. Now, you could definitely attribute that to young girls living together and being drama queens. However, we had never had any previous issue with not getting along. And I will say that every roommate she ever had there, it ended terribly, where there was horrible fighting between them that ended with the roommate leaving. So I almost feel like whatever was there didn't want her to have a roommate. The ghost like wanted my cousin all to itself. And it would sort of like drive a wedge between whoever she was living with so that that person would leave. And it worked every time. Love you guys. Bye.
Oh, so Megan said that the way the
Ew.
stairs to the attic were, there was like a landing. So it was like you had to go up and then turn.
Right.
So it's not like her suitcases could have just tumbled out on
Sure.
their own.
So we have to actually share some updates here from our listeners about pentagrams.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
how many weeks ago was that we talked about the pentagram?
that was last week.
Was it last week?
It was last week.
Seems like eternity.
Well, because we had the haunted driver's manual and they said
That's
that there was
right.
a pentagram on the first page.
And then we had a whole argument on whether or not pentagrams were like evil or not.
And I just, for the record, want to say that I called it and said, I don't think pentagrams were always evil. So, okay, keep going.
I'm
keep
like,
going.
I don't know.
Okay.
It says we got blah, blah, blah. Kendall says, just listening to the latest episode, and I wanted to give you more context about the general use of pentagrams. As a former Wiccan practitioner, the sources I am familiar with describe it as representing the balance of the elements. The 5 points represent earth, air, fire, water, and spirit ascending. It's also a symbol of protection. Oh, did not know that.
Yeah.
When the pentagram is inverted, it's used as a symbol of evil intent. The
The inverted panties. Sorry.
I don't even know how that
Panty-gram.
works. Panty-gram.
Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Oh, we need a break.
So where was I?
Why
I
are
don't
we
even
not drinking
know.
through this?
Right? God, do you have wine? God, I could chug some.
Yeah.
The inverted pentagram is just as offensive to a good pagan as an inverted cross is to a Christian.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. However, a pentagram that is right side up is very positive, healing, and powerful symbol. Have an awesome Halloween. Stay spooky, Kendall.
Oh, thank you, Kendall.
So wait, now we need to know if the pentagram was upside down or not, right? In
right.
the book?
Right. We need to know. Also got this one from Mary Hodges on YouTube, which is another place where you can leave us messages.
Yes, you can.
Mary says the pentagram conversation reminded me of something that happened on our road. Someone had painted a pentagram and said that our road was cursed. Only it wasn't a pentagram. It was the Star of David.
Oh my God. I was going to guess that.
Supposedly our weird neighbor was mad at a guy who lives at the dead end of our road and was just trying to curse him. So you're a bigot and you're stupid.
You're a bigot, you're stupid, and yeah.
So many things. All right. So we're really excited that this is going to happen. Been like texting and going back and forth with Britt Barbieri all
Yay.
week long. Ever since I saw this footage on the Today Show. So it was last Friday and they were showing all of these videos from different pilots of these strange lights in the sky, apparently kind of close to the Big Dipper. And I saw that they interviewed one of your production partners, Ben Hansen. And so we reached out to Britt and I was like, we have to talk to her about all this crazy UFO or UAP stuff, whatever.
Okay, wait, hold on really quick. Can we address the UFO, UFAP thing? Why did UFO get canceled?
Honestly, I think they're trying to remove the history and the stigma of the UFO phenomenon to kind of have people forget about everything that they've been trying to cover up and just address what's been happening since 2017.
Okay.
So I'm anti UAP. Like I know that in-house, like in-house government and in-house like actual military pilots, they have always referred to them since, probably 30, 40 years as UAPs from what I've learned. But as far as like the general public and what it was always referred to the general public were UFOs because they were unidentified flying objects.
And the reason that Britt is a specialist in this matter is because she has been on Unidentified with Demi Lovato, also on UFO Witness on the Travel Channel. She and Ben Hansen have been working together on all of this stuff for ages, and that's why you're going to fill us in. So, okay, and UAP stands for
Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
And what do we call the unidentified phenomena that's happening in the water, like in the oceans?
Those are USO. So that's unidentified submergible objects.
Okay. And I do want to talk to you more about that because I know you do a lot.
Sorry, I got real excited there. I was like, what's happening in the oceans?
Well, and Britt would know because Brittany does a lot of scuba diving. And so I do want to talk to you about that. But first, I want to hear, what are your thoughts on all of this stuff that we've been seeing? And also, do you know a place where people can go and automatically see this footage?
You actually should just head over to the YouTube channel, which is Hypo Center Productions. That's going to be our main place where we're going to be sending updates with videos and footage coming from pilots.
Okay. And we will post a link to that so everybody can see this because they are amazing. Honestly, I was watching them today and, not only is the video kind of scary, but I'm scared of flying. So just hearing these guys and the ambient noise of the jets in the background was really freaking me out. But it's amazing because when we look at it, it just looks like lights in the sky. It's very interesting. But when you hear these guys, professionals who see stuff in the sky all the time, and they're all like, whoa, what is that? What is going on? It's really exciting.
It is. And I've had calls today. Ben's had calls today with more pilots. It's more intriguing to hear it from them because they do fly the friendly skies every day, every night. Most of the ones we talk to fly a lot of red eyes. So they're very familiar with space, and they've noted multiple times that we see satellites on a regular, almost to the point where it's like clockwork. You'll know where it's going to be and when it's going to be. But in some of these accounts, these lights have formed and appeared and then started doing their own track and motion and kind of having a mind of their own, almost trying purposely to grab the attention of those looking and watching. But to see that in the clear skies, and these are gentlemen that have 26, 27 years under the belt flying. And what's even more engaging is when you hear, we get the FOIAs back and we're able to listen to the actual audio that we're hearing both of them communicating about this, sometimes for 30 minutes, sometimes 4 hours. It puts it into a different perspective when you're listening to them. And then they're reporting it into their head control saying, I've got the lights again from another pilot. It's kind of eerie. It's like nobody knows what they are. And if somebody does, and it's a satellite, please let us know because we haven't ruled that out. We are considering all things at this moment as more information continues to come in. But some cases, really, you can't really put a pin on it saying it's satellite. It just doesn't move or sound like a satellite that we are familiar with.
Right. And you hear air traffic control and they're like, don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
It's got a big like
question mark.
Yeah. So when you see this stuff, is it scary to you or is it exciting?
It's exciting. I don't really fear it anymore. I think it's just come to a point in my life that I've always known for the longest time that there's something else out there. There's no way that we're the only living life on a planet or whatever the case may be. So for me, it's more exciting and thrilling to finally have that validation.
Have you ever had an experience with a UFO?
Yeah, I've had two. Yeah, my first one was actually with my father leaving the airport. We had just picked up my sister and we saw an object kind of hovering inside a cloud. It kind of shook us for a second because we're like, oh, is that an airplane? And then I noticed that it wasn't. It was like a cylinder, very tic-tac shaped object, but it was very bright, metallic in color, really, really reflected the sun, almost blinding. And we watched for a second and it kind of like came horizontally, completely out of the cloud. And then the 747 flew in front of it. And as it was coming towards it, it lowered back into the cloud and then it went away. So my dad and I are both like, Oh, but
You see that?
You saw that, right?
Right.
You know, it was one of those moments like, oh my God, I feel so justified. And then my second one was a black triangular shape.
Okay, we've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was really close, probably about 25, 30 feet in length. It was close enough that I could make out the details underneath it. And I rolled my window down. My husband was driving and I literally stuck my head out because I was like, I know what this is. Like, I've got to see this freaking thing. And he wouldn't stop the car. He kept telling me, no. Aliens and him are like, let's not talk about it. So I rolled down the window, stuck my head out. And the most eerie thing is I've seen a lot of drones, you know, but this thing was massive and there was no sound. And it was just not moving. It was just hovering, just completely still.
I've got a question. I guess NASA is shooting like some sort of signals out into outer space that are supposed to like say hello to our alien friends.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a long time.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, it's apparently mathematic, and they do it with tones. You got to think almost like Close Encounters. That's basically what they've attempted to do. But unfortunately, I always fear that because we don't know how that is perceived by another type of, let's say, hypothetically an alien. We just don't understand that complete language. And if it does work, I mean, they say it's a universal language, but is it really? We don't know. You know what I mean? So it does, there's some fear to that on what are we welcoming to us. And we've been sitting pretty quiet for a while. And it seems like it picked up when they started playing around with that. And it's like, maybe we just put a big target on our back, say, hey, we're over here. Come check us out.
Come get us.
Is your planet dying? Don't worry. Come to ours. You know, it's like, just don't poke the bear.
Tell us a little bit about the underwater phenomenon.
Yes.
That blows my mind.
So USOs, a lot of these accounts started coming out for probably the last 40 years, but nobody really talked about them. But there's so many accounts from people that are traveling in boats that literally report seeing these lights that will come up to the water surface and then go beneath. And it's not like bioluminescent. It actually will vibrate the water. So they can see the water movement with these lights. So that indicates some type of propulsion or engine or what have you. I've done some historical work on it, and there's actually reports all the way back to like the 11th century. They've all indicated accounts while traveling that lights in the water actually guided them to their location that emanated in the water. So, and then there were some that talked about how the lights would come from the sky, shoot into the ocean and guide them. So these were actual like written accounts in their time and in their wording. And then there's also accounts from the 60s on where our technologies in capturing these things became more advanced.
There's something going on with the Pentagon on Monday.
So last year in July, in 2021, we had a UAP report. This is supposed to be our second declassified report. It's supposed to be, according to from what last year's task force that was assigned, that a year later we would have a more in-depth UAP report. And I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. I think we were all kind of disappointed when that last one came out.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a big letdown.
Yeah, it was. Britt, please stay in touch. If anything pops up, is it okay for us to reach back out to you and grab you to be on the podcast with us again?
Yeah, absolutely. After Monday, let's see what happens. I'd be more than happy to shoot back on and talk longer. I should have more updates on the pilot front. A lot of reports are still coming in and we have a lot of updates to come. We're just waiting on some more data and details before we come out with more information. And that will be also promoted through the debrief and the Today Show. So we have a lot more coming.
So in the meantime, where can everybody find you?
The best way to find me directly is on Instagram at Brittany_investigates, or you can find me on Facebook. If you are listening to this and you're a pilot and you have a story or a stewardess or air traffic control, you can send us an email. And the email is in my bio that you can find on my Instagram account.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes, absolutely. I had a great time. I love your show. So I follow you guys. I try and tag you in fun stuff to send it your way.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Britt. All right. So we got to wrap up this episode with one of our favorite stories out of Granbury. This one comes from Adam.
Yeah. Okay. So it was 2010. My house burnt down with my stepdad in it. So he died in the fire. Before he died, there was all sorts of weird stuff going on in the house. He ended up going to a psychologist saying he had 7 voices in his head telling him to kill my mom.
Oh my God.
On January 10th of 2010, woke up at 3:00 in the morning and my mom screaming because the house was on fire. So we wake up, get outside, the house is burning down. My dad's inside. I can't do anything about it. Later on, after the house has been put out, I go back in with the, 2 days later with the investigator. He's taking me through the house. He's like, so what happened here? We're in his room, which is completely gutted. It's all been burnt out. He's like, looks like something punched through the wall right here. I'm like, well, that's where his homemade Ouija board was. Yeah. So we were taking pictures in the house and there was nothing in the room when I was in there. When we developed the pictures, there was things in the room with me. Like it was pretty creepy.
God.
So they never figured out what started the fire, and the only thing that they could find odd was where it looked like it punched through the hole in the wall where his Ouija board was.
Why did he have a Ouija board?
Because he was like into.
Was he into like the dark spirits and stuff like
He
that?
didn't think he was. He was 100% thinking he was into the good side of things and was talking to Jesus and talking to angels, and then coming to find out apparently not at all.
Not the case. Oh my.
Yeah, and it was really weird.
How
So
did the fire marshal like try to explain that?
they didn't. They were just like, nope.
Don't know.
No, what's really weird is when we went to the police department, because obviously my dad died and everything. We were standing there and a random police officer, unrelated to the whole situation, walked in. He's like, you would not believe the amount of weird things that happen in this town that we can't explain and science can't explain, and turned around and walked off. I was like, okay, that's nice. So
Where was this at again?
Grand Junction, Colorado.
Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yeah, right on the border with Utah.
We got to look that up.
Yeah.
Any chance you still have the photos?
Somewhere on Facebook.
Would you
You're bringing
send
them up?
to us?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, can we please
I might
have those?
I might have to screenshot off of your phone
Yeah.
if you'll let me. Is the house still standing or?
Yeah, they gutted it and rebuilt it, and people are living in it now. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Welcome.
sharing that. That's
Yeah,
an amazing
golly,
story.
wow.
Dude.
I don't know that I can live in a house that somebody has died and burned up in and played with a Ouija board before it all happened.
Well,
Like, I
you
just
know-
don't know.
You know, they sold that shit without telling them.
Can you?
I don't think we've discussed this
But a
multiple
fire?
times.
A fire you would have to disclose,
A
and then I would
fire-
think you go and look up exactly what happened.
Are you watching The Watcher right now?
No, but I've heard everybody keeps telling me about it. Dang it.
It's bad and I can't stop watching it.
I heard it was awesome.
No, it's definitely not
Oh,
awesome.
it's bad, but you
but
can't
it's
stop.
it's based on, the real story of
Sure.
The Watcher, but then they just like make up a whole lot of stuff to go along with it.
Yeah, to
And
make
it's-
it better.
Yeah, and Jennifer Coolidge is in it, which is so weird. She's such a weird person in
She's
this.
the new Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
She's become like a caricature of herself.
yeah, you really nailed that. That's exactly what she is. But like listening to his story, are we really gonna do this Ouija board thing?
I don't know, because I cannot lie, with all of the crap that keeps happening to me, I am getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, same here.
Like computer stuff crashing, my car accident.
Yeah.
Just in general bad luck.
I have these weird spider bites on my feet or whatever, scabies.
I can't wait till you birth those spider babies.
Something's growing on my ankle, y'all.
I bet if you squish it, something will come out.
That's what Rebecca said. Try to go into labor with those things. Like if your little spider eggs could hatch during the season finale,
That would be perfect.
I know. I was like, do I push for that?
I
Like
think
how?
you should.
Yeah, I've been there's been a lot of random weirdness that's been happening.
I don't know.
And I got really scared. So if you don't know what we're talking about,
We played with the Ouija board last week.
No, we didn't play with it really. We touched it.
We played with it enough.
But it's such a chintzy little, it was a promotional thing for the Amazon Prime series.
Right.
My Best Friend's Exorcism.
It could be chintzy or not, but it clearly still works.
But so we said that we were going to go and use it at Las Almas Rotas,
Which is haunted.
It's a haunted bar here in Dallas,
Mhm.
which I feel like let's go.
I do want to go.
Let's go and we'll take the Ouija board.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I have to read this
Can
one.
we make our fans play with it instead of us?
Girl, that's exactly what I was going to suggest.
God
So
bless.
we got this message from Christy who says if she asked if she could join us at Los Alamos Rotos on Sunday when we were going to use it. And she said, I'm not a weirdo. I just really want to come hang out with you guys. And she was like, is it okay? Like I'm a mom. I'm cool. I'm like, this is exactly why we're doing this.
Right. We want you to come hang out with us.
Right. This is just an excuse to kind of meet
Yeah.
people. So please,
And
I'm
to
thinking,
drink.
Yes.
And to play with the Ouija board.
They call it a mezcal area. They sell tequila. Let's just say
Okay,
that.
done.
In fact, when you're driving by, it just says mezcal area.
Okay.
And then it's got a little tiny Los Alamos Rotas. So make sure you're looking for the big mezcal thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I say we bring the Ouija board and we just see what happens.
Okay, I'm down for that.
And we bring like sage and salt. And...
Absolutely. I already pulled my sage out.
Okay, good. And I've got mine.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
But if you would like to use the Ouija board in our
Yes!
stead, that would be absolutely,
Absolutely.
that would be amazing.
We also got another note from Inez, and she says, "Hi, friends. Just finished the current episode and thought I would send you the prayer I say prior to using the board."
That's
There's
a good
prayer.
idea.
I didn't know that existed. It was given to me many, many years ago by a family friend who is a medium. Looking forward to hearing about your experience with it, Inez. And here's the prayer. I am a being of pure white light. Only good can come to me. Only good can flow through me, and only good can be here with me.
Oh, that's nice.
That is very nice.
Actually, she sent a picture of the piece of paper, and it's pretty cool because it looks old. It looks like something that somebody wrote down a long time ago. So we'll post a picture of that.
Awesome.
That's super cool.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is the season finale, you guys. Are you all crying? Because I am. I know.
No, we're not. We're both tired. We need a break.
Exhausted. And after the Ouija board incident on Sunday, and I say incident because there might be one.
There's gonna be one. And we know. I already said I taped an episode of another podcast there, and stuff was happening.
Right. So if stuff doesn't happen while we're there, then I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be super pissed because I've gone out of my way to go to this haunted location. So you ghosties, you hear me.
Stop it. Don't.
I'm not gonna touch the Ouija board. We're making somebody else do it.
Okay.
Inez will do it for us.
Okay.
Thank you, Inez. So we're gonna be taking 2 weeks off. We will be posting minisodes for the page for our patrons on November 17th. This is a great time to become a patron. It's $5 a month. Haunted AF. Nope. Patreon.com/HauntedAF. Podcast itself is going to return February 2nd, but we're also going to put our top 10 of 2022 on New Year's Eve. So you want to watch out for that.
Yeah. And keep in mind, like if you've had a favorite from this past year,
let us know.
Yeah. In fact, I'm kind of looking forward to, this is when I like to go back and listen to all of the episodes.
Right.
Because I need to make a new intro for next season.
Oh,
so
yeah.
picking out all those really great moments from this past year. So if you have any, or, a suggestion for that, this is also going to give you guys a chance to make your new Dead Pet of the Week theme songs or your weird shit theme songs. Also, the holidays are approaching and we know you guys are going to be with family. You've always got that weird Uncle Bobby or crazy Aunt Ethel who's got a weird story. Sit them down,
talk to them,
put your phone in their face, let them tell the story, or just write it down. Just get that stuff to us. Send it all to hauntedafpodcast@gmail.com so we can use it in season 9.
Woo!
Season 9 of Haunted AF.